I guess if I could describe John, he's quietly powerful.
One of his greatest strengths in managing and making the Washington State Convention Center so successful was you weren't a vendor when you worked with John, you were a true partner.
I would use the word genuine to describe John. He is many, many things. It's difficult to pick one word, of course. That's the thing that really shines through with him.
Without fail, from the East Coast to the West Coast, John Christison's name just kept coming up over and over again.
I would say John was hands-on. John is direct. He is thoughtful, very smart, innovative.
Well, I got started in the industry sort of under unusual circumstances. I was working as an aide to the mayor for the city of Tucson, and I had gotten that job right out of college. And he decided not to run for re-election, so he said, I'm going to try to find positions for all the staff members. And he came to me one morning and said, starting tomorrow, you're working at the new convention center, which had just opened. I reported the next morning, fell in love with the work, and I've been doing it ever since.
We started a relationship with him, and he guided us through a RFP process, which we ultimately won and took over management of our convention facility in Memphis and our performing arts hall. And he's been by our side ever since, and he's done a great job for us.
John has made so many contributions. Certainly through IVM, he has been very, very active as past president and helped drive forward that side of our business on the convention center side. He's been very active in the sustainability focus that our convention centers now have, and as most of us know, the Washington State Convention Center is a shining example of that.
And I watched him be able to sit in a room, and you could just see his wheels turning. He would very, very respectfully, thoughtfully, sometimes disagree with you, but he always came from a very powerful standpoint.
I think the convention center in Seattle has evolved as probably one of the premier convention centers in the United States.
But specifically in Seattle, John was early to be very involved in recycling programs, which the city of Seattle is very famous for.
I think an initial desire for events to be green, to deal with sustainability, but the unfortunate fact is that sustainability and green meetings cost money. It is more expensive to have a green meeting than it is a non-green meeting. How can we as an industry begin to have an impact on reducing carbon and all those sorts of nasty things that are out there?
His lasting legacy is bringing everybody together collaborative to work together and to think differently and to be able to share and connect and make it a better industry.
He allowed people with special skills and talents to really grow and let them run with the ball, so to speak. And he was great at mentoring the various partners up there and being very successful at that.
But the real legacy that John leaves behind is the people that he has coached and mentored along the way. There are really too many to name, but I know that dozens and dozens of people have worked with him in some capacity or another.
I think he's creative in that respect, but he is definitely in charge and has a great team that he builds, but he's a great operator.
He is respected not only by my board of directors, but he's respected by our mayors in our city, our convention industry folks, our hospitality industry leadership. He's become a household word in our city, and I think that's remarkable for somebody that has spent the last 25 years of his career in Seattle, Washington.
Well, I tell you, that's probably been one of the most rewarding parts of what I've done over my life is working with young people. And I think that's what's kept me as excited about my work, is seeing all the people around me being that passionate. We just take moments in time, and it's rather ethereal, really, because the meeting is set up, it occurs, and then it's gone. And then you have to worry about the next meeting that's coming. And it's watching those meetings sort of and/or events happen and watching the impact of them and then scampering around getting ready for the next one. For me, that was the fun part.
So he helped a sea change, basically, to get the industry thinking that we're not just a facility. We're there to work together as a team with the meeting planner, event planner, and the industry and suppliers to make that a good experience for the attendee, for the user.
He really has the entire package figured out from one side to the other, and how all these entities should best interact, for the betterment of the facility and the local community.
And John's been at that convention center for 20 years and certainly played a significant role in leaving something behind that we can all enjoy for many, many years to come.
Well, as a personal legacy, I guess I would hope that people would think of me as a person of integrity. Ours is a business oftentimes of lots of negotiation, and I've always tried to be as fair and as honest as I could be, and I hope people would remember me that way. I also hope they would remember me just as a good practitioner who set high standards for service and quality and helped produce really good events.
And he has an incredibly interesting background.
Someone who started off as a drummer in a rock and roll band and became a roadie and traveled with bands in the 60s and 70s.
And it was at that dinner that many of us learned for the first time that John, way back in the day, was actually a roadie for the old rock band Steppenwolf.
Believe it or not, I said, John, do you want to go see Beale Street? You want to go see Elvis's house? He said, no. He said, I want to go buy a Zildjian cymbal that I've been looking for, and I know that they have it here in Memphis at the Memphis Drum Shop. So his first trip to Memphis, it was all about getting this cymbal for his drum set. So I think he knows a little bit about playing the drums, and clearly I can't tell the difference between one cymbal or another, but he certainly does. And
I think John will see his induction hall leaders as a way for recognizing what he's given back. And I could tell you, knowing him, he's a very humble man, wonderful man.
Well, it's been a pleasure working with John over the past 20 years. He's been a great mentor to me. I've learned so much from him, and I'm thrilled to see him being recognized for all of those accomplishments.
John is one of those truly exceptional people that when you meet him, you know right away that he is very sincere and very genuine.
I'm sure John is very honored to be recognized by his industry with this highest honor.
And I hope that John can relax in the fact that his legacy lives on in Seattle.
I'm very, very grateful to CIC for the honor. It really has been a terrific way to sort of close up a career and to be recognized a little bit, but also just to encourage everyone to get involved.